ZWIFT Insider Tiny Races, week 55. The races took place on August 26, 2023. As always, every Saturday we have 4 races within an hour, starting every 15 minutes. So you see on the screen the routes from yesterday. So we started on the hill route and the Watopia map with a 3.2 kilometer, which is really a very short one for a typical tiny race. But yeah, you had the hilly come on it, and so there was quite something that you will feel in your legs, but it should be the shortest of the 4 races, excuse me. Then you would go to in the second race, the 6 train reverse, 6.9 kilometers. So we are there then on the New York map, and after that we go to Lock Loop. So this is the Scottish map with a 6.2 kilometers, and the last one is the Volcano flat reverse race. Yeah, so a nice mixture, not the hardest one, but not an easy one either. And yeah, you see here all this on the ZWIFT Insider website a couple of days before the races take place here, which routes were selected by ZWIFT Insider Eric for this week. And yeah, it's always good to check that ahead if you want to have a chance in the races, and just to understand which power-ups you will have, and maybe which bikes you choose, and yeah, what to expect overall. And depending on if you go for the GC or if you maybe just try to be in one of the races really good, yeah, it's good to know what to expect. I had yesterday raced again in the late night edition, which is like 10 o'clock UK time, 11 o'clock at night Central European time. And I had a race I did a race to worlds earlier in the morning, or not morning, like around lunchtime, which went really well. I had like my best ever 20 minutes watts per kilo. So I was before the race quite confident, and I hoped to be at least, let's say, competitive. I finished the last 2 weeks in always at 11th place in the general classification in category C, where I'm starting. So I looked forward to this, but yeah, my legs didn't bring what was necessary at that part. But yeah, so we'll go through the race. I'll do this as a highlights, and I just try to show you a little bit how things went. So I'm approaching here the KOM or COM, however you want to call it. 26th place at that time, so far below what I hoped before that. Just lost touch to the faster riders. I'm now overtaken by another guy from the US, trying just to stick with him for the moment. And there's the power up left that we will use a bit later when we approach the finish, going downhill. So it's a downhill finish. It would be a fast finish in that case. Yeah, I looked on the time, more on the time for like the guys behind us, which were 6 seconds, 7 seconds before. So yeah, my goal was to at least keep this place number 26, 27 with the other guy, and yeah, we were sprinting it out here, but yeah, he had the better legs. And so here we are now already on the start for the second race. It's the 6 train reverse course on the New York map. We're starting in Central Park. Yeah, so I hoped that maybe legs will be better now, and yeah, still like quite a good group of 40, over 40 people, 46 people, sorry for that. Yeah, so I was like not really happy with the result of the first race, but still wanted to stick with it and see how things will develop. And yeah, I checked out the course beforehand, watched some other guys' YouTube video on that, just to prepare myself on all the video, and just to get familiar with the course and see how things will then be and how things will go. And so I knew there will be only like some small hills is too much, some small bumps at the beginning. So the idea was, or the plan was, to stick with the group. And you see at that point I'm more at the end of the group, so at position 41 now. Yeah, and if you have a group of 41 out of 46 people, it means it's gonna be tight. There's just yeah, always like a very few people in category C who might lose contact at the beginning, who just for whatever reason take it easy or don't feel the legs or something. So you see, we're a good big group, and at that point I start to feel a bit better with my legs. I have the feeling, yeah, maybe there's something. I know around kilometer 3 there will be a climb, or climb, as I said again, is a bit too much. Yeah, a couple of meters in altitude, so it goes up to about 30. So we're now at 14. So it's not that much, but on the other hand, if races are quite fast, then this is something. And now you see me like really feeling a bit better and like going with the faster guys. And at that point, really feel like, okay, let's try to be there in front. Let's be part of the, let's say, the pushing development to make the race a bit harder for the people who are in the group, so that the group might get a little bit smaller. And so now you see we're at 33, climbing 36, and it's a bit more than I thought first. So, and here the group is big. Everybody's still here, roughly. Yes, I mean, very few people drop out at that point. And I start to feel like, okay, legs are... it's not that good. I might have pushed a bit too much, and I might have been a bit too confident. And but still, it's like there would be a small uphill type finish, so which isn't too bad for me. So I'm like still trying to keep in touch, and now it's feeling yeah. There's something missing. And it's these like little meters you're losing. I'm steering around to just to try to stay in the draft, and yeah, but it's gone. And these are the couple of meters that at that point I don't get back. And you see on the very left top my wattage per kilo. It's not what you need in a race to keep up with a group. If you like, I'm here 1.9, okay, 2 point something, but still this is not enough. And you see how they go fast away, and I'm like here somewhere nowhere. And my focus on that at that point gets on like the people behind me. Will I be able to keep this group away? It's not that long anymore. It's 1.1 kilometers. So I like be kind of hopeful that I will manage to do that. 8 seconds. Normally this should be fine. Normally this should be all right. And here I'm going down, and yeah, 7 seconds. So they're coming closer, but still this should be okay. And it's like the finish will be at around 70 meters climbing. So not much left, and here now 8%, and this really kills me. This is like just 500 meters, but at that point it just doesn't work anymore. And you see my speed, 15 kilometers per hour. This is nothing. And there's just nothing left, and the whole group goes past me. And yeah, there's like really... nothing left, and I try for like a little bit to stick with these guys who just overtook me, but yeah, it doesn't work, and 100 meters left, and at that point I'm just going easy, because like 33rd place out of 46, I mean, could be worse, but yeah, I think you see my body language, I'm just not happy. So now we are approaching the third race. My mood went really fast downhill at that point. 33rd place was like really far below my expectations, and like losing a minute to the top group on a 6.9 kilometer race, where I was most of the time with this group. This is like just a very much of a downhill. Yeah, so race number 3, we are on the Scotland map, and in the live commentary I said like at one point 6.1 kilometers. So I was like, we started and we had 100 meters done, and it was like looking on how long will it be, which is I mean, if you're running a marathon, if you're on a really long race, at some point you might have a countdown in your head. But on the tiny race after 100 meters, this just shows that your head is somewhere else, or your focus is not on the right point. But anyway, okay, I'll try to make the best out of it, and recording this for YouTube really gave me let's say a sense to finish. I was like really feeling down, but at that point I felt like, okay, I'll do this video, I want to finish that, and also I don't want to chicken out. So if it goes nowhere, it goes nowhere, but I'll finish that. And it's a fight I have sometimes really with myself, where I'm like not feeling it, want to throw it away, and then I have to remind myself, really, these are kilometers you do as a training if racing doesn't work. And what is Zwift like really for me? It's a way to keep fit. You know, it's a way to have my body good, and to feel fit, and feel good overall health, and lose weight. And yes, that's it. You know, we are not here racing for $1 million contract in the pro team. So no cheating makes sense, and not cheating yourself. So this really helps me a bit. I see like that I feel way too much these little bumps. Way too much for like really having a chance. But we're a group of still 42 starters, so yeah, I feel like, okay, I'll stick with it, and if I end up 35th or even like lower, then so be it. But I'll finish this video for you guys, and do for myself really a better job in like just keeping up with it, and not feeling even more crap if you stop. I mean, there are of course situations where you have to stop, and yeah. So I like the Scotland map, to get back to the race, really a lot. This is it's a fun map, but this part, so this was part of the race the World Series. So I know now how it's going up, down, up, down. We'll end with about 40 meters of climbing this race. So we are halfway through the climbing meters, and so using the feather now to try to stick with the group, and that's the most I can do at that moment. It's a bit over a kilometer. I am 100% at that moment clear that there's no chance for me to go for one of the, let's say, top places. But now I'm like 23rd out of 42. That's at that moment it felt worse than when I'm now looking at the video. And now I'm feeling like really it's not so bad. You see the first group up there, and now I'm sprinting. That's where I am. This is my element, going fast for a short, really hard sprint. And so I'm finishing 20th place. It's getting a little bit better, and that's important, and that's what at that moment should be the focus, that you are, if you would have stopped, you would have stopped, and you would have just stopped with the most crappy feeling. And now it's one more race, and let's see how this will go for me now. So we are now at the start of the fourth race, the last race of this weekend. I have a last minute idea to check my bike, and not sure, should I go for gravel or should I take other setup, and it's just too late. If you're really concentrated and if your head is where it should be, then you would do this much earlier. But that's a ideal sign to see that your concentration is not there. And I felt a bit better after the finish of the third race. And so here I am. This race will be decided on the last kilometer or so, where there's a gravel section and a small climb. And we got the steamroll power up, as you say, and you should in this race keep this to the finish part and then use it. And so this is a group where some people might have gravel setup, some might have standard setup. So this is always the question in a group where there could be a split in the group, because if you have the road bike set up and some people then not, there's just when the field gets quite quite a easy split up in the field. And you see that here. That's about 3 riders go away from the main group. And I'm just trying to stick into, because my focus is on this last part, going up. As you saw before, that's the way I like it. And here, we are in a group around 30th place, and there's this group in front of us. And I decided at that point, just I have to go all in and just to catch them. And that's at that point really the right call to do, even if your leg's not there. I didn't want to get dropped again, on the second race in the New York map. And I know there's not a lot of up and down coming soon. So I catch that group, and I'm happy about that. Later, the guys from the other that I was with first, some of them catch up too, but doesn't matter. That's it was a hard short sprint, but it did the job. And so now we are 2.5 kilometers to the end. It's still this small group of 3 guys ahead. They are out of my league at that point, so there's no way to think about that, and just concentrate. And I know, so it's 2 kilometers to go, roughly 1 kilometer flat, and then the gravel starts. There's a flat part on the gravel, and then a short climb at the end. So 35th place at the moment in this group. There are some people who are within my reach, so I hope maybe something 25 or so could be a quite good place to finish, and then give me a good ending, let's say. So we are now really approaching the gravel part. I'm more at the end of the group. not so sure about my legs again. And yeah, you'll see now how people soon will start to use their power up. So it's just 700 meters now. People start the power up. We're still flat. And here, yeah, this is the part where you should use then the steamroller. I'm still waiting because I can stick with the group. And I think like I'll use the steamroller now when the climbing starts. So that was my approach, to use it as late as possible. And here it really helps. You see me like really going past these other riders, and I'm really feeling good now. This is much better. Yeah, I finished 18th place, which is not superb, but it was a good ending. And yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next week on ZWIFT Insider Races. Bye bye.